Hello and welcome back to another cedh bling build. Today's episode will be featuring Thrasios and Bruse, our ink, aka Jeskai Green Thrasios Dawnwaker build that was recently featured in a Rebel video that featured content creator comedian. As I was putting this deck together to feature, I realized how less and less of a fan I was of the deck. It's advertised as like this mid-range deck, but like, I don't know, lie detector determined that was a lie. Because really it's just a race to assemble infinite mana, and then with your infinite mana, get Thrasios on board, and find an outlet for that infinite mana once you draw the deck. The deck pretends to be like some mid-range deck that grinds value of like a Seedborn Muse, but in reality, like it doesn't really work that way. Thrasios will come on board once you assemble the combo, and that's my take on it after goldfishing it for a while. But what do I know? Like, I just assembled the deck, goldfish it a couple of times, whereas like a comedian, you know, he probably runs this in like attorneys, which he participates in a lot more frequently than I do. But yeah, I made a couple of changes from his build. A couple of changes. For instance, like he had a Seedborn Muse. I cut that from the deck. He was missing like a Survival of Fittest, which I added into the deck. And then he had Breach, so LED, but like if you're looking for infinite mana, then I personally also added like an RX Salvagers. But we'll get through that. We'll talk about it as we move along. So starting things off, we have a Bruse, which I guess wants to just beat the hell out of the Adnos player, and Thrasios Triton Hero, which is an amazing infinite mana outlet, a colorless infinite mana outlet from the command zone, which is really a big deal. That colorless, I don't know why they didn't pick up on this in our research and design. Maybe RMD or a bunch of us scrubs that just let degenerate cards out into the world. So Zerda the Dawnwaker, which is the namesake of the deck. Zerda wants to also have like a basalt monolith or a green monolith on board to generate infinite colors mana, and then from there you could get your Thrasios on board and draw the deck. And if you have a Zerda and you're in green, you might as well have Kinnan, Bonder Prodigy, Fat Boy Kinnan. Fat Boy Kinnan has nice synergies, of course, with all the dorks that are in the deck. But he also goes infinite with, I believe, only Basalt Monolith, not both monoliths, right? Only Basalt, not Grim Monolith. And I guess so in hindsight, like a Thrasios ability should have looked something like that, but it doesn't, which is crazy. So yeah, from there we have a Basalt Monolith and a Grim Monolith. And with those two already in the deck, then might as well jam in a power artifacts, 2 CMC Aura, which could be tutored up with a muddle mixture, so it might as well be in the deck. And it can be tutored up with Enlightened Tutor, so just more reasons. Once you have your A, then you just plus your B. Emil the Blessed, which makes an appearance, which is nice. That could go in other things. I would run it in normally. Would normally just be in like a Kenrith deck. Why isn't this deck just a Kenrith deck? I don't know. Comedian wanted to grind Thrasios value, and so I fall in line and I put together the deck and just feature it as a paper version. So Emil goes infinite, of course, with Dockside Extortionist, but Emil can also go infinite with Derevi, and a thick Gaia's Cradle. Thick being able to produce 4 green mana. And of course, in this deck, it doesn't matter what color your infinite mana is, because it could be purple. It doesn't matter. It's all going to get thrown into Thrasios and draw the deck. Another old combo is we have our Isochron Scepter Dramatic Reversal combo. Not too many mana rocks in this deck, but a lot of mana dorks, which of course also synergize with this combo. And then because we're in Jeskai, we have Underworld Breach, which has a disgusting intuition pile, where you can intuition finding Underworld Breach, Savine's Reclamation, or Lion's Eye Diamond, making like unbeatable intuition, and that's how I like my intuition piles, unbeatable. Since we have an LED, we also have Auriok Salvager, bomberman combo. Auriok LED will generate 3 white and sack it. Use 2 of those white to get back the LED, netting 1 white mana. You do that infinite amount of times. Take half of that number and make infinite every other color. Just rinse, wash, repeat. You have your infinite mana. One win condition I have in this deck, which I can just draw into. I don't need to get it into the graveyard, like in an old school eggs deck. Is a Pyrite Spellbomb. Pyrite Spellbomb, just ping, 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 pew, 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 everybody infinitely once you have your Bomberman combo online. Also, a neat thing is Auriok Salvagers makes a really nice Neoform target with a Spellseeker. Spellseeker Neoform gets her Auriok Salvager. Some utility, we have Eternal Witness and then a Spellseeker. And then our cock block package, we have a Flame Scroll Celebrant, which of course turns into a Revel in Silence, which white casts Silence. Of course, especially in a 4-color deck, right? In these 3-color decks, 4-color decks, white gets becomes incredibly difficult to assemble, but it's an option. Then we have Malevolent Hermit, which of course turns into Benevolent Geist. A little bit easier, you can hard cast the front side and then later on cast the back side, or you can just wheel it away, whatever happens first. We have a Grand Abolisher, which neoforms a dork into it, easy peasy. And then we have a Ranger, Captain of Eos, a card I really need to give the old foil treatment to. A ton of 1-drop targets, so you get that Ranger value. And then, of course, you just silence your opponents, semi-silence your opponents. Some of these 1-drop targets will include a Ragavan, because, of course, Esper Sentinel, because why not? And then a whole bunch of dorks, Llanowar Elves, Findhorn Elves, Elfish Mystic, Absence Pilgrim, which normally in a green-white X deck would be so weak I wouldn't even include it, but as time goes by, like white has become an important color, like this white resurgence, this white revival, right? Arbor Elf, a Noble Hierarch, and a Birds of Paradise, which I really want to upgrade, but I'm scared to death of receiving a counterfeit if I just buy 7th edition from some guy. Scary times. Our counter package, Silence, which a lot of the time becomes a lot more stronger than a generic counter spell. Flush the Storm, Swan Song, Miscast, Dispel, Mental Misstep, Fierce Guardianship, Pact Negation, and a Force of Will. Notable exclusions are the red counters, red soft counters, your Pyroblast, red Elemental Blast, and also Veil of Summer. Our removal package. So this is a problem I have with this particular build. This isn't a favorite deck of mine, but when you have like a deck filled with like a creature strategies, like you don't have the room for spot removal or a nice counter magic package to protect your combos. So there's like a lot of slots that are just like missing, cut entirely from the deck. And I don't want to criticize or judge, but like I understand like the strong spot removal, even if it's like shitty blue spot removal, which just bounces. Why it's important just to remove like those single stacks piece before you combo off. But like, I don't know. It's like I think these guys like assemble these decks from like their imagination and forget like what it's like to actually like, play in a pod where you got to be prepared for everything. But we have a Chain of Vapor, Winds of Rebuke. This is a win condition, I believe, when you have like Eternal Witness and the stupid unicorn meal, and you can mill your opponents to death. Mill your opponents to death. I don't know, it's not a amazing combo, but it's still a win con. Don't forget, a lot of this is not my deck. Teeny tiny draw package. We have a freeze, brainstorm, Gitaxian probe, and then a bunch of wheels. We have a windfall, wheel of misfortune, and a wheel of fortune. No time twister. There's no space, and no memories journey loops, which might be a little outdated. And then our tutor package. It's not the tutor. Now we have a gamble, which is subjectively the worst card ever printed. Mystical Tutor, Enlightened Tutor, Model Mixer for our 2-drops, Crop Rotation. Again, I used to own OG Urza's Crop Rotation foil, but I sold it. The money was easy money, and I'm just not a fan of creature strategies and Gaia's Cradle, and usually this is the card that, it's like a peanut butter jelly sandwich. They always go together, so I got rid of it. Fabricate. Whereas the build on the database, the Dawnwaker build, has like a lot of the special summon creature package. It neglects the artifact tutor package, which is like, I don't know, kind of like a no-no, right? A plus B plus C, and they're missing all the tutors for C. Our special summon creature package, we have a Green Sun, which can get your Derevi, which can get your Fatboy Kinnan. A Finale Devastation, which is a win condition, so you just growl, beat everybody in the head with dorks. It's an option. A Neoform. Eldritch Evolution. And then a last tutor card, new inclusion, Moon Silver Key, which of course can get your Basalt or your Grim Monolith for 3 CMC. And then our enchantments, we have a Carpet of Flowers, Mystic Study, Mystic Remora, Sylvan Tutor, Survival of the Fittest, which is great, right? You have a ton of creatures in the deck, and you're looking for very specific creatures. Survival of the Fittest adds a lot of speed to the deck. Creatures go burr. And then some personal favorite of mine, since I'm in wheels and I'm in green, Compost. Compost, which is a cute card. We'll see how it plays out this weekend. Rocks, we have a Mana Vault, Mana Crypt, Soul Ring, Mox Diamond, Chromox, and a Lotus Petal. And then, of course, the lands, keeping it simple. We have our 10 fetches. Flooded Strand, Arid Mesa, Misty Rainforest, Polluted Delta, Verdant Catacombs, Wooded Foothill, Marsh Flats, Bloodstained Mire, Scalding Tarn, and a Windswept Heath. We have our 6 duels. We have a Volcanic, Island, Tundra, Savanna, Taiga, Plateau, Tropical Island, and then of course our 6 shocks: Stomping Ground, Sacred Foundry, Temple Garden, Hollowed Fountain, Breeding Pool, Steam Vents, and then our mana abundant lands. We have Ancient Tomb and Gaia's Cradle. And then our rainbow lands, we have a Gemstone Cavern, Mana Confluence, Command Tower, and a City of Brass. And there you have it. You have Thrasios Dawnwaker. Not a personal favorite deck of mine. In fact, I'm not a fan of this deck whatsoever. But I have these cards in my collection, and I will feature them. Coming up next, maybe I'll just put together something like a personal build of mine, which is bullshit, right? Because it's just all these tier decks have the same winning conditions. Anyway, thanks so much.